Shalom, shalom, everybody. Barakatah Yahuwah. Tonight's segment is going to be on the sixth letter, the letter U. And I've got on both sides of my board two different settings of teachings. But we want to start with the sixth letter. So the sixth letter is a U. It means a nail. It means to fasten, secure, and it means to. It also is used as the word and. So when in our English we start reading words and sentences with the letter and, it's because in English that letter and word and is actually the letter U, and it means to add to something or fasten something. Like if I say me and my shawl, that means to both of us, and we are combined together. We are one unit. So to start with the letter U, you will notice that it looks like a nail peg, and that's exactly what it is. It's a nail. It's like when you take two pieces of board and you put a 2x4 on another board and you nail it to it. You are fastening and securing it. That means it's working within a set structure. It's set in place. It's unmovable. It not just sets into a fastening to one structure to another, but it is a strengthening. It fastens two things together for a strengthening, to support and hold. So when I was looking up this word "ul" over the past many years, I'm going to show you on my Picture Alphabet Lexicon app from Jeff Benner. But there's only one word "ul," or out of all the words that I've ever taught in the Picture Alphabet, the letter "ul" only has one word. Other than it being in the first part of a letter, written on the first part of a word, it will be used as the word "and." So it isn't really an added part of a word. It's adding or saying "and" something together with it. So I'm going to show this on my Picture Alphabet Lexicon on the screen here. And you will notice that it says "add" or a peg. And if I move my screen up, and we go right to the next letter, Zan. You find it. Zan. And we look to the right of it, you will see that all the rest of the Picture Alphabet, there's no other words. If you add the next letter from Aluf to Ta past the letter U. And so the letter U is a double portion. It's two nails, two U's. It means to add or a peg. The pictograph U represents a tent peg with the idea of joining or attaching things together. And the tent peg is an U shaped as a wooden peg which is driven into firm soil. And the tent ropes were attached to these pegs, and the U shape prevents the rope from slipping off the peg. And the peg or nail, and it also is the word hook. And I will go into some of this description in the scriptures about it being used, the letter U, the double nails, the double U's, being the word hook in scripture in a minute. And it says a nail or a hook as used for attaching one thing to another. The short form U is used as a prefix meaning as in adding to a word in the first letter, the U. It's a prefix meaning add or and, the word and. So I have the word that I chose to use as har. If we look here, we got the hey Rosh. This is the word mountain, har. if you put the U in front of it as uhar, it becomes and mountain. Not the mountain, but and mountain. This is very important to understand about how the letter U is used as a prefix as the word and, or to add. So not only was Yahuwah in a certain place, it was and the mountain of Uhar, the mountain. So Yahuwah was given instructions to Moshe, not just as a place of instructions, but and mountain. The instructions was coming not just from Yahuwah, but and on the mountain of Har. So the number 6 is the 6th letter, the letter U. And I've taken some notes tonight for a lot of this teaching segment because there is not very many words that are used to make up the letter U written with other individual letters, individual alphabet letters. So we see it as a prefix as Uhar and mountain. Or we see it when we start reading in about a sheet, Genesis chapter 1. Get my picture alphabet Torah out. And what I found that was very interesting was a lot of the times we start looking at the whatever letter it is, and they all have a numerical value. And being that U is the 6th letter, I looked at my picture alphabet Torah, and I started reading in Barashit Genesis 1, Eluf. And this is how it reads. Barashit, bara Elohim et hashamayim u'et. Barashit is the first word, bara is the second word, Elohim's the third word, et is the fourth word. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, Barashit is the first word, bara is the second word, Elohim is the third word, et is the fourth word, Hashemaram is the fifth word, and u'et. U'et is the 6th word. This is the first time that we will see that the letter U is even written in the Torah on the 6th word. Yahuwah is perfect. He's perfect in all of his ways. And when we get to the word et, we know this is the aluf ta, the beginning and the end. So this u'et is fastened. This u is fastened to the word at. U'at. The 6th letter. And at, a aluf and ta, is the beginning and the end. And when we see the word Hashemayim, which is the word sky, a lot of Bibles say heaven, but heaven is just the sky. And it's the same place that I'm sitting right now from the top of the Abryt, the earth, the land, as far as the firmament goes, is the Hashemayim, the sky. You and I and everyone are walking around in the sky. Now, why is u'et placed between the word Hashemayim, sky, and the word ha'aretz, for earth? Because this is where we are placed. We are walking in the u'et, between the Hashemayim and the ha'aretz. U, it denotes a physical completion. Number 6. Let's turn to our English scriptures, since most of y'all can't read from the Abryt Hebrew. Let's turn to Abryt, chapter 1. And let's go to the 6th day. Okay? Verse 21. And Elohim created the great sea creatures, and every living being that moves, which the waters teemed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And Elohim baraked and blessed them, saying, Be fruitful and increase, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, the 5th day. Now this Abryt, Genesis chapter 1, when we see that he's talking about the Hashemayim in the sky, and the Haaretz, which is the earth, we see on the 5th day that he started creating these things in the expanse. But the Ul is very important for mankind. Because mankind, and it says, And Elohim Yahuwah said, Let the earth bring forth the living being according to its kind stock, and creeping creatures, and beasts of the earth, according to its kind. And it came to be so. And Elohim Yahuwah made the beast of the earth, according to its kind, and livestock, according to its kind, and all that creep on the earth, according to its kind. And Elohim Yahuwah saw that it was good. And Elohim Yahuwah said, Let us make man in my image, according to my likeness, and let them rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the Shemayim sky, and over the livestock, and over all the Haaretz, the earth, and over all creeping creatures that creep on the ground. And Elohim Yahuwah created the man in his own image. In the image of Yahuwah, he created him, male and female. He created them. And Elohim Yahuwah blessed them. And Elohim Yahuwah said to them, Be fruitful and increase, and fill the earth, and subdue it, and rule over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the Shemayim sky, and over all creeping creatures on the earth. And Elohim Yahuwah said, See, I have given you every plant that yields seed, which is on the face, the paneh, the turning of the earth, and every tree whose fruit yields seed. To you it is for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the Shemayim in the sky, and to every creeping creature on the earth, in which there is a living being, and every green plant is for food. And it came to be so. And Elohim Yahuwah saw that he had made, and see, it was very good. And there came to be the evening, and there came to be the morning of the 6th day. This is very, very important to understand that the letter Ul, the 6th, it denotes the physical completion. It denotes the physical completion of creation. It denotes the physical completion of everything except the Shabbat. It completes everything except for resting. I'm going to turn over here to the other side of my board, and we're going to look at how this letter Ul has changed. This is the ancient picture letter of the Ul. When we get to the ostraca in the Paleo Hebrew, which is in about the year 800 to 1000 BC, we find that it is the letter changing, and you can see that this letter ul starts taking form and shape, that it's got a line across it. Then when we get into the late Hebrew, which is we find it in the Dead Sea Scrolls, it almost looks like a hook, like a lummet in a way. But then whenever we get over to the Aramaic, which is the modern script today, we start seeing it take another form and a shape. These 4 different shapes are very important, especially whenever we start reading from different scrolls. This helps us to identify the timeline of the letter changing. This is something that most people don't take into consideration because most of us only read in English. This is very important whenever it comes to ancient scrolls, calendars, and all kinds of things about dating things, about the way things was. When we start reading about how the physical world was completed in 6 days, man and wife was created on the 6th day. A completion, redemption, and a transformation. The word and, or the letter ul, appears 13 times in the book of Shemot, Exodus. It's used as the word hooks to hang the curtain on the tabernacle. This is a double portion. Before I got into this study in the past little over a week, I did not realize about the tabernacle, about the curtains that hung up around it. When we get to this teaching, oh, Yahuwah help us, about the tabernacle. And we start looking to the book of Exodus 26 and 9. And it says, "Thou shalt couple 5 curtains." Now we start walking this picture alphabet down. Yahuwah is revealing. The letter Hey means to reveal. He revealed that there will be 5 curtains by themselves on each side of the tabernacle, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shall double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. When I read this verse the other day, I said this is a double portion. The letter ul is 2 letters, 2 uls, 2 fastenings. 2 fastenings. And the 6th curtain that goes on the doorway of the tabernacle was doubled. As we see, the ul is a double letter spelt exactly the same. Yahuwah is perfect in all of his ways. Yahuwah is perfect in all of his ways. This is very important. This is some things that you won't see this in English. You won't understand what is really happening as we walk down the picture alphabet, going from the letter Hey 5 now to the letter 6, and we find it in the curtains of the tabernacle. And not only do we find it on the curtains of the tabernacle, we find it at the doorway. The doorway is very important. So we find the letter Dalet 4 for doorway. We find it for the 5 curtains that were hanging on the tabernacle. And we find at the doorway the letter Ul, the double fastening of 6 curtains combined together, Because when Yahushua come, and that tabernacle, that temple, and that veil was rent. It's hard enough to tear one animal skin, one curtain. And it'd be fascinating to see 5, but when you see 6 that are fastened and designed together, that are nailed, and they rent and they were torn, showing that Yahushua was the Zadok, the Melech Zadok, the high priest of righteousness. There's some things here that we don't take into consideration. We have to really know the scriptures. We really have to understand what's going on here. But I want to step back and go back into Bereshit, Genesis 30 and 19. Speaking about mankind again for a moment. And we see that and Leah conceived again and bore Jacob, the 6th son. Abraham, Jacob, Yitzhak, the 3 patriarchs of our faith. Of a Abryt, a covenant, and that later was broken. And so that we have a Abryt, covenant of Hakadasha, renewed, leading up to the lineage of Yahushua, renewing this covenant. And just like we get further into the book of Exodus, and thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shall double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. Very important. And then further as we read along, we find this in Leviticus. And then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year. And it shall bring forth fruit for 3 years. And you may sow the 8th year and eat from that 6 years. A provider, an ode, and produce until you bring in the 9th year produce, and you may eat old produce. I know that doesn't make sense probably to a lot of you, but in Leviticus 25 and 21, he says, then I will command my blessing upon you in the 6th year. The letter 6 may not have a lot of words written, other than it being the double U together as one word in your lexicon or your Strong's Concordance. But this is a very important word. I will be going over some other words tonight written with the U. And they will only have to be written from within the other words. And we need to keep in mind that this letter U means to add. It's a hook, and it means to fasten. And in Shemot 16 and 6, it says, on the 6th day, when they prepare what they bring in, it will be 2 or twice as much as they gather daily. I want to go to this verse before I go into some of the words. Bereshit, or Shemot, Exodus 16. We're talking about the 6th day. Start with verse 1. And they set out from Elim, all the congregation of the children of Israel. They came to the wilderness of Sin, which is between Elim and Sinai, on the 15th day of the new month. Do y'all realize that this 15th day is the day of unleavened bread feast week? And after the going out of the land of Mitzrayim, and all the congregation of the children of Israel grumbled against Moshe and Aaron in the wilderness. And the children of Israel said to them, if only we had died by the hand of Yahuwah in the land of Mitzrayim, Egypt, when we sat by the pots of meat, and when we ate bread to satisfaction. For you have brought us out into the wilderness to put all this assembly to death with hunger. And Yahuwah said to Moshe, see, I am raining bread from the Shemayim for you, and the people shall go out, and they shall gather a day's portion every day, in order to try them, whether they walk in my Torah or not. We're tested, people. And it shall be on the 6th day, the Ul, that they prepare what they bring in, and it shall be twice, a double portion, as much as they gather daily. The letter Ul, being that there is 2 uls, is a double portion. Yahuwah is perfect in his design. Yahuwah is perfect in his alufbet. Yahuwah has used this picture alufbet as individual words to create and fasten it to the scriptures. To add to scriptures as we read along. The events, the experience of what we're going to live. This was the plan from the alufbet that we live out today. And Moshe and Aaron said to all the children of Israel, at evening you shall know that Yahuwah has brought you out of the land of Mitzrayim, and in the morning you shall see the esteem of Yahuwah, for he hears your grumblings against Yahuwah. And what are we that you grumble against us? You see, there was a double portion that Moshe and Aaron together was the speakers. And all of Yisrael started grumbling, or most of all of Yisrael started grumbling. And they started, the people had started to conspire. And that's the word conspiracy, right? It's the word to conspire against Yahuwah through Moshe and Aaron. And to conspire means that we go to others in our congregation and start trying to get them to believe our idea rather than Yahuwah. Conspire in English is the same word as we see as beguile in the Garden of Eden. There's a conspiracy. There's a conspiring. There's a grumbling coming, a gnashing of teeth. But it came against the 2 witnesses of Yahuwah, Moshe and Aaron. But in reality, Yahuwah said, they're not grumbling against you, they're grumbling against me. They're murmuring, complaining. And Moshe said, and that Yahuwah gives you meat to eat in the evening, and in the morning bread to satisfaction. For Yahuwah hears your grumblings which you make against him. And what are we? Your grumblings are not against us, as two, a double portion, but against Yahuwah. And Moshe said to Aaron, say to all the congregation of the children of Yisrael, come near before Yahuwah, for he has heard your grumblings. And it came to be as Aaron spoke to all the congregation and the children of Yisrael, that they looked toward the wilderness, and see, the esteem of Yahuwah appeared in the cloud, in the Shemaim, in the sky. And Yahuwah spoke to Moshe, saying, I have heard the grumblings of the children of Yisrael. Speak to them, saying, between the evenings you are to eat meat, and in the morning you are to be satisfied with bread. And you shall know that I am Yahuwah, your Elohim. And it came to be that quails came up at the evening and covered the camp. And in the morning the dew lay all around the camp. And did you catch the word and? And it came to be that quails came up at evening and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay all around the camp, and the layer of dew went up, and see, on the surface of the wilderness was a small round substance as fine as frost on the ground. See, there was a double portion of something to eat, and a testing was coming, quail and manna. It was something that was added, something that was fastened to it, something of an event. And the children of Israel saw, and they said to each other, what is it? I ask you who all the time with this picture alphabet, what is it? What does this do? How did you make this? How does it work? How is it to be applied in my life? How am I to understand your ways? How am I supposed to get a double witnessing? A double portion. Just like Elijah and Elisha. Elisha got a double portion from Elijah. It was the same word. It was a continuation. It was something that was fastened. Something that was added. Something continued. It wasn't something new. The children of Israel saw and said to each other, what is it? For they did not know what it was. And Moshe said to them, it is the bread which Yahuwah has given you to eat. What I have found to be very interesting about this double portion there's 4 letters inside this picture alphabet that are all spelt with the same exact letters. You got the first letter, which is the 6th letter. It's the O. The next letter down the picture alphabet is the Tut. It's a basket. The next letter is the Mem. Water. Blood. Oil. Sap. The next letter The letter Nun. It's the picture of seed. And as we look on the 6th day, all 4 of these letters are spelled with the same letter it is. U is 2 U's. Tut is 2 tuts. Mem is 2 mems. Nun is 2 nuns. Let's go to Numbers. Let me find it. I didn't write the scriptures down. Numbers chapter 11. And I want to show this double portion on the 6th day. And a double portion is always for mankind, because on the 6th day man was made. And it came to be when the people were as complainers, it was evil in the ears of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah heard it, and his displeasure burned, and the fire of Yahuwah burned among them, and consumed those in the outskirts of the camp. And the people cried out to Moshe, and Moshe prayed to Yahuwah, and the fire died down. And then he called the name of the place Taberah, because the fire of Yahuwah had burned against them. And the mixed multitude, and mixed, 2 different peoples. We have Yashriel, and you have people from Mitzrayim, where Yashriel all lived in Mitzrayim, Egypt. They also left out with people that were Egyptians, and these were the murmurers, these were the complainers. These were those that were having a hard time adjusting to the word of Yahuwah. A harder time than the rest of Israel. And the people cried out to Moshe, and Moshe prayed to Yahuwah, and the fire died down. And then he called the name of the place Taberah, because of the fire of Yahuwah had burned among them. And the mixed multitude, the the and, mixed, fastening 2 different people together, who were in their midst, lusted greatly. And so the children of Yashriel also wept again and said, who is giving us meat to eat? We remember the fish which we ate without cost in Mitzrayim, Egypt, the cucumbers, the melons. It says we remember the fish which we ate without cost in Mitzrayim, and the cucumbers, and the melons, and the leeks, and the onions, and the garlic. The word ul, and, is on each one of these words, the ul in the Abryt word, as the word and to each one of these Hebrew words for leeks, onions, and so on, and cucumbers and melons, because it was a fastening. It was a unit that was fastened. But now our being is dried up, and there is naught to look at but this manna. And now the manna was like a coriander seed, and its appearance like the appearance of bdellium, which is white and red. And the people went about and gathered it, and ground it on millstones, or beat it in the mortar, and cooked it in a pot, and made cakes of it. And its taste was as the taste of cakes baked with oil. And when the dew fell on the camp at night, the manna fell on it. And Moshe heard the people weeping throughout their clans, each man at the door of his tent. And the displeasure of Yahuwah burned exceedingly, and in the eyes of Moshe it was evil. So Moshe said to Yahuwah, why have you done evil to your servant? And why have I not found favor in your eyes to put the burden of all these people on me? Was it I who convinced all these people? Was it I who brought them forth, that you should say to me, carry them in your bosom, as the foster father carries a nursing child, to the land which you swore to your fathers, to their fathers, where I am to get meat to give to all these people, for they weep before me, saying, give us meat to eat. I am unable to bear all these people alone, because the burden is too heavy for me. And if you are doing this to me, kill me. Please, kill me, Yahuwah. If I have found favor, beauty in your eyes, let me not see my evil. And then Yahuwah said to Moshe, gather to me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom you know to be the elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them to the tent of appointment, and let them stand there with you. It was on the 6th day that they had to gather 2, double portion, and put it in their baskets, their containers. And on top of this dew, which is mem, at this seed, this nun, 2 seeds, a double portion of manna was to be gathered. Each one of these 4 letters throughout these scriptures have a divine purpose as a double portion. Why is this letter O so important? Why is it that there is 2? Why is it the word and? Why is it that it has to do with mankind not only being made on the 6th day, but it's a double revealing. So we know the 5th letter is the letter Hey. And it looks like a person standing with the arms raised looking at something revealed. But on the 6th day that Yahuwah said, I made man in my image. Male and female. This is the word hua. Hey, hey. Male fastened to female. Male and female. He created them on the sixth day in the image of Yahuwah. Hua is the word for breath. It means to exist or to be. And Yahuwah breathed life into Adam. And Yahuwah breathed life into them both. And came to be male and female in the image of Yahuwah. We go through Scripture and we start learning about the fall of Adam and Kua. I want to take the first letter out of the name or the word Hua and out of the name of Yahuwah. And I'm going to add the letter Chet, which is a fence. Kua was her name, not Eve. We see that in the Garden of Eden that there was a fenced in, a walled area. It was called the Garden of Pleasure, Eden. Eden is the word for pleasure. And that is where Adam named his wife, Kua. The breath of Yahuwah in Adam was the same breath that he spoke the name of his Ishah wife, Kua. The only difference was we took the hay from breath and replaced it with a chet. And it was out of the image of Yahuwah. And what does the image of Yahuwah really mean? A lot of people think it's just the visual, physical image of what a man and a woman looks like. And yes, that is true. But it's also the image of the Alufbet, put in creation, put in the experience that we live. As we read along, we know that Adam and Kua both, they of course were in disobedience, they sinned. When we look at the real word and the real name of Yahuwah, Yahusha, we find that in Psalm 68:4 and 50-something other, 54, I think, different other scriptures, we find the name Yah. That's really his name, Yah. A lot of people want to say, no, it's Yahuwah, Ahaya, Yahusha. Well, those are and added letters to the name Yah. And I want to demonstrate that. So we have the name Yah. Yah. Matter of fact, since I'm reading on scriptures a little bit tonight, let's go to the book of Tehillim, Psalms. And let me just kind of read for a moment Psalm 68, verse 1. And Elohim arises and its enemies are scattered. They're going to be scattered out of the Garden of Eden. And his enemies are scattered, and those who hate him flee before him, or those who fear him. As smoke is driven away, you drive them away. As wax melts before the fire, the wrong perish before Yahuwah. But the righteous are glad. They exult before Yahuwah, and they rejoice with gladness. Sing to Elohim Yahuwah, sing praises to his name. Rise up a highway for him, who rules through the deserts. By his name, Yah. We know that when Adam and Kuah first sinned, that they hid. And his enemies were scattered. They scattered in and hid in between the trees. And as Yahushua come walking through the Garden of Eden, calling for Adam, Adam, where art thou? Where are you? Where are you, Adam? Because Yahushua is Yahuwah, Yah, walked in the garden with Adam every day, talking to him, getting to know him, having a personal relationship. And those who hate him flee before him. It's not that we hate Yahuwah or Yahushua. It's this sin in our lives that separates us sometimes. But separation isn't always because of sin. Separation is also righteousness. And I want to explain that a little more in detail. And exalt before him, Father of the fatherless, and right ruler of widows, his Elohim in his set-apart dwelling. And Yahuwah makes a home for the lonely. And he brings out into prosperity those who are bound with chains. And only the rebellious shall dwell in a dry land. O Yahuwah Elohim, when you went out before your people, when you stepped through the wilderness, shalom. We know that Yah is the name. His hand created Adam. And Hua fastened, secured Adam to his wife Kuah. In the plan and the image, in the experience of life as we live life today, because we are the ancestors of Adam and Kuah and the creation of Yahuwah from the beginning. This is where Adam and Kuah had sinned. We go back to the very beginning. The very beginning. Bereshit chapter 2. And thus the heavens and the earth were completed, and all their array. And in the seventh day Elohim Yahuwah completed his work which he had done. And he rested in the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And Elohim Yahuwah blessed the seventh day, and he set it apart, because on it he rested from all his work which Yahuwah in creating had made. And there are the births of the Shemayim, sky, and the Abryt, earth. And when they were created in that day, that Yahuwah Elohim made the Abryt, earth, and the Shemayim, and the heavens, the sky. Now no shrub of the field was yet on the earth, and no plant of the field had yet sprung up, for Yahuwah Elohim had not sent rain on the earth, and there was no man to till the ground. And then he placed Adam in the garden. But a mist went up from the earth and watered the entire surface of the ground. And Yahuwah Elohim formed the man out of the dust from the ground and breathed into his nostrils breath, Hua, of lives. And the man became a living being. And Yahuwah Elohim planted a garden in Eden into the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Yahuwah Elohim made every tree grow, that it is pleasant to the sight and good for food, which the tree of life in the midst of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Here's a double portion. 2 trees. 2 trees. On the 6th day, on the same day that he planted Adam and he created Kua. And Yahuwah Elohim said, it is not good for a man to be alone, and I am going to make a helper for him and his counterpart. And from the ground Yahuwah Elohim formed every beast of the field and every bird of the Shema of heaven, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called each living being, that was its name. Adam named his own wife also. Then when we get into further into the chapter, Barashit 3, and the Chahesh, the bronze, was more crafty than all the lives of the field which Yahuwah Elohim had made. And he said to the woman, is it true that Elohim, Yahuwah, has said, do not eat of every tree of the garden? We're going to add another letter to the name Yahu. Yahu is another name for Yahuwah. Yahu. It's the letter Shin. Yahush. Shin is the picture of the 2 front teeth. What do you do with your teeth? You eat. Do not eat of every tree of the garden. And the woman said to the Nachash, we are to eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst, in the middle of the garden, Yahuwah Elohim has said, do not eat of it, nor touch it, lest you die. In the very first part of the name Yahu, Yah, we have a hand. Do not touch. The letter Hey is the next letter, as in not, he is revealed to me. Yah has revealed not to touch. And the consequence is touching and eating. Because there's a consequence of separation coming. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Elohim Yahuwah has said, do not eat of it, nor touch it, unless you die. Shin is not only for the teeth of consuming something that we eat, and that is what we do. We destroy the food. We break it down. And Shin is also the word for destroy. Something that is destroyed. To die. And Akesh said to the woman, you shall certainly not die. For Elohim Yahuwah knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eye shall be opened. You add the last letter to the name of Yahusha, which is the Ain. Out of all this, we come to the name of Yahusha. The shin of the teeth, the eye of the lusting, and Yahuwah, Yah, has fastened. Yah fastens Shah, salvation. He took what Adam and Kua had done. their sin. Combine these two letters of the experience that they had done out of the picture loof bit and created what they did to make the word Shah as deliverers or saves. This is perfect. Only our Creator Yahusha took sin upon himself to redeem us, to restore us from the very beginning. The Barashit. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree desirable to make one wise. And she took of its fruit, and she ate. And she also gave to her husband with her, and he ate. And the eyes of both, a double portion, of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked. And of course, we know what the rest of the story goes through. Now let's take a little bit of another word. Hell. The word hell. Most of all, you thinking already. You're thinking about fire, brimstone. You're thinking about where the devil's cast. You're thinking about where people are going to go. That's not the word hell, folks. Our minds need to come back to the Abryt language. Hallel had another lamed, a double portion. Hallel u Yah. Hallel is usually the word that we use for praise, worship, fasten, secured to Yah. Hallelujah. 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 Praise Yah. But let me show you a little bit more about this word hell. H-L-L. If you spell it in English, you'll write H-E-L-L. It's the word praise, people. Let's get back to the Abryt mind. Let's get back to our Creator. I want to show you a few things about the word hell. Hallel, hell, hey, lamed. It means to look toward a sight. Do you know what the letter hey means? It means to look in awe at something being revealed. Hallel means these, designating a group that is with the speaker. You see, after Adam and Kua had been redeemed after their sin of eating with the teeth and lusting of the eye, and they gave Yahusha praise. Hell, they gave Yah praise. Yahoo, Yah is fastened. Took upon sin, the lusting, the gnashing of teeth, consuming, eating of the fruit, lusting of the eye, shah, fasten, sin, to himself. Designated a group that is with the speaker, in the sense of looking toward a sight. The short form of hey is used as a prefix meaning to look, and translated as the. Toward, a moving to or towards something, to be with it, as the ox moves toward a destination. El-ah. Hey Lamed Lamed. Hey Lamed Lamed. It means to shine. To shine through one's actions or words. It means to praise, glory, boast, foolish, commended, celebrate. Hello. It's an arrival to the distant place. Hell. Hello. It's designing a group that is with the speaker in the sense of looking toward a sight. Means folly is the same sense of shining. Halu means to look at a sight. It may even be in the positive praise or negative folly sense. Hallel means to shine, to cause a shining of one by praising or giving thanks to another or to oneself. Hallel, to shine through one's actions or words. Hallel is also the word used as Lucifer in the book of Yashayahu, Isaiah. Lucifer is not a name of a demon or devil. The Hallel is used as a star, as the North Polaris star. And we read in Yashayahu, Isaiah, and he says on the mount, the stars, let me find it. Isaiah is not talking about the devil. That's a Christianity, Trinitarian lie. The Hebrew word often translated as praise is Hallel. To begin this study, we need to examine how this word was written in its original pictograph script. Hallel, hey, lamed, lamed, and this word is derived from the parent root, hell, by doubling the second letter lamed, a double portion. The letter hey is a picture of a man with his arms raised up, looking and pointing at an amazing sight. The letter lamed is the shepherd's staff that is used to move the flock toward a direction. And when combined, these two letters mean to look toward a sight. You remember the Magi, and when we come up to the what people call the New Testament, and they looked to the North Star, and they gave them the direction into where Yahusha was at his birth. This is the same word. And the word is written as hell in the modern Hebrew script. is an ancient word meaning to look toward, and it is commonly used in the biblical Hebrew in its shortened form, hey, as the definite article and a prefix to the noun, and is translated as the. For instance, the word Abryt means the house, and would have originally been written as two words, Bayet Hel. Bayet Hel. By using the prefix hey, the author is causing the reader to look toward a specific house. Bet is house and Hel is to look. Look to the house. While there is no actual evidence of this other than the contextual interpretation, I believe that the original meaning of the word Hel is the North Star. I'm reading from Jeff Benner, by the way. And this star is always in the same northern location in the night sky every night and used as a guide to the traveler. And it is a light that is looked toward to find a direction. And the verb Hallel means to shine, as seen as Isaiah 13:10. And the moon shall not cause its light to shine. And the same word is also translated as praise in Psalms 117:1. Praise Yahuwah. Hallel, Yahuwah. All you nations exalt him. And all you peoples. The full meaning of this verse is that all people are to look to Yahuwah as the light of their journey that will guide and lead them on life's journey. Throughout the Tanakh and the Old Testament, our life is seen as a journey, such as in Exodus 18:20. And you shall teach them the decrees and the Torah, and make them know the path in which they must walk and what they must do. Just as the North Star, the Hallel, is the shining light that guides the traveler, and Yahuwah is the shining light that guides us on our journey. And so Hallel is the star, the shining north star, North Polaris, that we are to look to fasten and secured back to Yah. And this is something very important when we start getting into the Enoch, the Tanakh calendar, the Zadok calendar, and that is the North Star that we use for our calendar to find the first day of the year, to find the fourth day of the month, which is Shabbat, to find the appointed times when to start counting on the first day after Tekufah. That North Star, the North Polaris, is the revealing, Hallel, the shining of the North Star of Yah. Not sure how long I've been going. An hour and 13 minutes. It's long enough tonight. We really need to understand Yahuwah in these last days. We really need to come back to this ancient path. We really need to learn the alphabet, the language, the pure lep, the calendar. We need to be seeking, studying together, asking questions, looking for truth, questioning everything, comparing everything. We're running out of time. We should be desperate in these hours. Some of you are too complacent to even look toward that Hallel star. You're too complacent. You think you've done got what you need just because you know the name Yahuwah. Well, let me explain something. Yahuwah brought the name to Moshe, to Pharaoh, before he brought him into the calendar. Just because you say you serve a Shabbat and you're doing the name of Yahuwah doesn't always mean that you're doing the right one. If you don't know how to read Hebrew and you're reading translators, most likely, most definitely, you're doing things wrong. Our English will lead you astray. They don't hold the same definitions as what the Abryt Hebrew does. Brakatah, Abryt, Hakadasha. The covenant renewed. Behold, the day comes, saith Yahuwah, that I will make a renewed covenant with the house of Yashriel and with the house of Yehudah. Jeremiah 31 and 31. It's what I look forward to. A renewed covenant, a restoration, a remnant. Barak Yahusha.